I'm pretty stoked to show you where I am today because, in my opinion, this place digs deeper historically and culturally than any other place in Europe. I'm stepping in the footsteps of St. Paul and Socrates, yet I'm surrounded by a modern city. Let's do this. Athens is one of the oldest cities in the world that gets millions of travelers each year, and with good reason. It's full of mega monuments like the Acropolis, and it's where the earliest chapters of Western civilization were written. I'm Angel Castellanos for the Tour Guy, and today I'm going to give you the formula of how to have an epic day right here in Athens.
Athens is the capital of modern-day Greece and the most populous city in the whole country. It's undoubtedly the economic, cultural, and political center of Greece. The Athens we know today is a sprawling European capital with over 3 million inhabitants, nestled along the sparkling Aegean Sea. Athens was chosen as the capital of Greece due to its historical significance and central location within the country. Today, the city's port, named Piraeus, is the biggest and busiest port in all of Europe. Athens International Airport is served by most major airlines and lies 27 kilometers, which is 16.5 miles, southeast of the city center. Getting into town can easily be done by Blue Metro Line number 3, taking about 45 minutes, or direct express bus to Syntagma Square, which takes 75 minutes. Taxis are also available at a fixed price. Getting to the port of Piraeus to the ferry terminal or cruise ship dock is also straightforward. While the metro does connect from the airport, I recommend taking the direct express bus X96, which takes 90 minutes, or you can easily book a taxi. Even though Athens is a massive metropolis, getting around Athens is straightforward since most of your sightseeing is done in the dense city center. Taxis are available in addition to ride-sharing apps like FreeNow and Uber. The convenient metro has stops in key locations like the Acropolis, Syntagma Square, and Monastiraki. You should also definitely pack your walking shoes, especially if you're staying in the city center, since distances are not far for making Athens a walkable city. Walking from the Pisidi neighborhood or Syntagma Square to the Acropolis takes about 20 minutes. We created the perfect route and plan to get you from A to Z. Check out the blog for great information on maximizing your time and increasing your fun. Before we start our day, hook me up with a like and subscribe so we can keep bringing you great content.
So this morning I'm seeing one of the world's biggest mega monuments, a testament to Western civilization, the Acropolis, baby.
We'll start our day in Athens by seeing the biggest site in the city, the mega monument of the Acropolis. Our tour includes the adjacent Acropolis Museum. From there, we'll dive deeper into the ancient sites by visiting the ancient Agora and Roman Forum. After that, it'll be time for a food tour that starts in Monastiraki. In ancient Greece, many cities had an Acropolis, which in Greek, akro means highest or topmost, and polis means city. Today, the Acropolis is located in Athens. Athens is a treasure trove of archaeological wonders, and no visit to Greece is complete without exploring the Acropolis. It's one of the major archaeological sites in the world, drawing about 3 million visitors each year.
The Acropolis is one of the mega monuments of the world, and so many people want to see it. There's going to be a huge line like this. Remember, there are two sorts of travelers, those who stand in line and those who don't. You can easily book your ticket online ahead of time, or go into any archaeological site here in Athens, get a pass, and you can easily walk right in. Don't waste your time in line like this.
To make the best use of my time and money, I decided to jump on a tour that includes my ticket and a passionate local licensed guide to make the visit more meaningful.
All right, it's time to get our morning started by visiting a symbol of Western civilization, a mega monument, the Acropolis.
The first main site you'll see as you make your way up the Acropolis Hill is the impressive Odeon of Herodes, which was built in 161 AD and once held 5,000 spectators. Today, the theater is still in use, hosting a variety of live performances. Once you reach the top of the sacred rock, you are greeted by the Propylea, or the grand entrance through which all visitors have passed since the Acropolis was built in the 5th century BC during the age of Pericles, which is commonly referred to as the Golden Age of Athens. As you make your way through the dramatic gateway-like entrance, you'll get a glimpse of the small temple of Athena Nike. A temple to the victorious patron of the city has stood here since prehistoric times, since this is the most vulnerable part of the rock complex. The temple we see today was designed by the famous architect Kallikrates and built between 421 and 415 BC. You will undoubtedly notice the Erechtheion temples with its iconic carved female columns. According to legend, Poseidon and Athena battled for patronage of Athens. This mini-temple complex is dedicated to both gods. The focal point of the complex and the icon of the Acropolis rock is the Parthenon. It is the epitome of Greek classical architecture and is one of the most important monuments in the Western world. Rapidly constructed under Pericles' watch from 448 to 432 BC, the Parthenon is the latest and greatest temple built on the site. The temple built for Athena shook the world and is renowned for its architectural excellence and precise proportions. It is considered one of the finest examples of Doric architecture in the world, with 8 columns in front and back and 17 columns on each side. Each column is approximately 34 feet or 10 meters tall. Along with the subtle optical illusions, this demonstrates the sophistication of ancient Greek builders. The Acropolis is an important spiritual, democratic, artistic, and architectural symbol of the glories of ancient Greece. First inhabited around 5000 BC, the Acropolis is still mostly intact today, and only an in-person visit will help you understand the breathtaking proportions and scale, both majestic and human, that were even fought over by the gods. The stunning and super modern Acropolis Museum houses 4,000 artifacts from the Acropolis complex. The museum is conveniently located next to the Acropolis and is definitely worth seeing. The museum itself is a masterpiece of modern architecture. The architects thoughtfully used light and space to showcase the vast collection of artifacts, sculptures, and artworks that were originally part of the Acropolis and its various temples. These treasures include sculptures from the complex and the Parthenon marbles, located in the Parthenon Gallery. The marbles were once part of the decoration of the Parthenon temple of the Acropolis and now are displayed in a stunning layout that reflects their original placement on the building. Another highlight are the original statue pillars that supported the Erechthion's porch, which have been brought inside and are located on the middle floor. The sculpted female figures, known as caryatides, stand gracefully draped in flowing garments with intricately detailed hairstyles. They were created between 421 and 407 BC, making them approximately 2400 years old. For another perspective on ancient Greece, the grassy and relaxing area below the Acropolis known as the Agora is definitely worth exploring.
It's hard to understand ancient Greece without visiting the Agora, which is where I am today. And this is the ancient marketplace. It was the epicenter of ancient Greece for over 1,200 years. Everything happened here, politically, socially, and economically. St. Paul preached here, Socrates taught his philosophies here. It's a great place to really wander about, take in the ruins, take in the sights, and really transport yourself back in time.
The ancient marketplace that was the center of life in Athens for 1,200 years is a beautiful and relaxing place to explore. Don't forget to wear a pair of comfortable shoes because this area is quite large and you'll need some time to explore it. The Temple of Hephaistos is something you can't miss in the Agora. It's one of the best preserved temples from antiquity, and you'll have much less crowds compared to the Acropolis. From the Agora, you'll also get epic views of the Acropolis rock and complex.
So next door to the Greek Agora is the Roman Agora, which was built in the 1st century AD by the Romans, and it's much smaller than the ancient marketplace. They moved it here, and it's kind of like a little history lasagna because you're going to find some Byzantine elements, Roman elements, Ottoman elements as well. So take a chance to check it out. So if you think Athens is a bunch of historic sites and a bunch of gray marble, you are absolutely wrong. I mean, look at this place. I'm gonna take you on a food tour this morning. We're gonna do 6 stops, and that way you get to learn about the culture, the history, through the food, and also a little bit of what to order when you're right here in Athens.
If you want to hop on this multi-stop food tour, it meets in Monastiraki Square and explores this neighborhood and the colorful Pisidi area. Definitely come hungry because it even includes lunch.
So nice and warm. You see all the beautiful sesame seed here on top. Just rip a piece off. So good. Nice and warm, soft on the inside, sesame crunch. So good. So next stop is a pie shop, and you wouldn't necessarily associate pies with Athens or Greece, but it is very, very traditional. They are called pita here. I'm gonna go inside, choose my pita, and have at it. So what I did is I asked them inside for a little bit of a sampler just so you can get a sense of the variety of different pita that they have. And the pieces are massive, okay? This is not even half of one pie. And they have, of course, the classic spinach pie. There is a cheese and onion pie. There is a chicken pita. And then this one here is a little bit sweet. It's made with feta inside and has a lot of butter in it as well. So just gonna go in and have at it. I mean, I went classic because in my mind, I know what this should taste like. And this is absolutely spectacular because the layers of the phyllo dough, so good. I would order this as like a nice little lunch situation. This is so good. Trying to tell you something. Fires on all cylinders, baby. Such a great little snack. So I'm outside of the Central Market, which is the next stop on my food tour, and I'm gonna try what's called the loukoumades, which is a fried donut. So I'm gonna go inside to this historic building, which is from 1923. We're gonna find out how these donuts are made, and then, of course, try a little, right? Okay, I'm gonna go for it now. The loukoumade, saw it freshly made. It is not heavy. It is like light. It's not dense like a donut, and it is covered with honey and some nuts. This is so delicious. This is like a donut on crack. I can't believe I've never had this in my life before. So this is the main entry into the Central Market, and you're gonna see lots of different meat sellers here. A little bit of a myth that Greek people eat lamb all the time. Central Market is divided into different sections. There's a meat market. This is a seafood market as well. You can see that there's a ton of fresh seafood. This is my new buddy Leonidas, who's gonna put me to work in his little olive stand, and he gave me a nice little sampling of different olives. So you have kind of the traditional olives that you'll find here. So we have a Kalamata, which you'll find in many grocery stores, different parts of the world. You have a black olive, which you probably have seen on pizza. It's a little bit more meaty. You have the famous green olive, which you see in martinis and in aperitivo, especially in Italy and Spain. And then this one is special because it is a sun-dried olive with lots of different herbs. This one's super, super tasty. And then this one here has the herbs and the sun-dried. Ooh, ooh. Oregano.
Very tasty.
Yeah. Leonidas, dude, crushed it. Thank you so much, man. Thank you. Give this back to you.
Oh, thank you.
Bye-bye.
This tour even included a sit-down meze lunch with all the traditional Greek dishes. The variety of small plates known as meze are served in most restaurants and traditional Greek tavernas.
All right, we're getting down to the nitty-gritty. So after this beautiful little meze lunch that we just had, I'm headed to taste some wine, taste some olive oil, and really get an education about all the wonderful products this country produces. So wine, olive oil, let's do this. So newsflash, Greece is a wine producing country. So when you come here, you can try lots of different wines. I'm trying this beautiful white from the southern part of Greece. And even when you go to a taverna or a restaurant, you can order a house wine, and it's absolutely delicious. And now we're moving on to some other treats, so cheers. We had a lot of food. You introduced me to some locals, which I think is always really kind of the extra special part, because that's the beauty of taking a tour like yours, is not only do you learn a little bit about the culture, you meet people. So thank you.
I agree.
Yeah.
Just a short 10-minute walk from Monasteraki Square is the important Syntagma Square, where the changing of the guard happens.
It's hard to understand modern Athens without coming to Syntagma Square, which has historic, political, and cultural significance to the Greek people. Historically, this is where Greeks gather for national important events, like when the military junta fell in 1974, or in most recent times when they were protesting against economic policy. This is also the political heart of the country. The neoclassical building that you see behind me was built in 1842 for the incoming king. Greece no longer has a king. This is now home to parliament and the seat of governments. Culturally, this also has a lot of meaning because there are important monuments in this square, like the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, which is behind me, and that is guarded by soldiers dressed in traditional uniform called ebzones. I'm gonna go check this out really quickly because they're about to start the changing of the guard. If you want a good spot for the changing of the guard, try to stand towards the middle here and try to stand as close as you can before the other military sort of yell at you, and then the new soldiers will parade out from the left, circle around, and then march down the middle. So the seas of tourists will part, you can take your pictures, and you will see them pay their respects to the tomb of the unknown soldier and then march away. It's a really great ceremony that you shouldn't miss. It's coffee time here in Athens, and I came to a place that still makes Greek coffee in the traditional way. They actually cook it not on the stovetop, but in sand. And the coffee is made in this traditional briki, which is a little place where you put the coffee, put the hot water, they put this in sand, and then you're meant to pour it into your cup. And unlike other countries in the area, they use a medium roast. So there's the coffee sludge there, and you can have it with sugar, without sugar. You would order this as a traditional Greek coffee. It's served with lokumi. I'm in this beautiful place called Mocha, and I'm pretty stoked to try this actually. Ooh, mommy. That's a kick in the teeth. That is good stuff. I drink espresso every day, and this is next level. Nice. With the lokumi and coffee, very nice. One of the best museums in all of Greece is right here in Athens. It's the National Archeology Museum that has important and influential artifacts dating all the way back from the Neolithic period to the Bronze Age that were described by Homer, all the way to the Romans. So I'm gonna go ahead and check it out.
This museum is undoubtedly the best crash course in Greek antiquities. It's a great place to learn about ancient civilizations and the archaeological sites you'll visit on a Greek itinerary. The collection transports visitors through the history of Greek art from 7000 BC to 500 AD. These are some of the highlights of the collection. The Mask of Agamemnon is a significant archaeological artifact. The mask is associated with the ancient city of Mycenae and the Mycenaean civilization, which thrived in Greece during the late Bronze Age. The mask is named after Agamemnon, the legendary figure in Greek mythology and one of the leaders of the Greek forces during the Trojan War. The striking frescoes depict two young boxers from the Minoan civilization, specifically from the settlement of Akritori on the island of Thera, what we call Santorini today. Much like Pompeii, these people were wiped out during a massive volcanic explosion in the 17th century BC. Whether it's Poseidon or Zeus poised to throw either a thunderbolt or trident at some unlucky enemy, there is no doubt this is a fine example of a bronze sculpture. This piece dates from roughly 460 BC, and you don't want to miss it because even the museum's collection director says that this piece is of unparalleled archaeological and artistic value. The lifelike jockey of Artemision dates from 140 BC, and you can still see the emblem of Nike, the goddess not the company, right on the horse. The realistic motion, tension, and emotion from both horse and young jockey make this an unmissable piece.
Athens is a great city, no doubt about it, but I suggest that you take the opportunity to get out of the city and onto the water. I've made it down to the port of Piraeus, which is about a 30-minute drive away from the center of town. Cost me about 20 euros in a taxi, and I'm gonna take a sunset boat cruise, have some snacks, meet some locals, and really kind of think about how epic Athens really is.
The exuberant and joyous energy of Greek culture extends into the night. In Athens, there is no shortage of places to have a good time. 2 of the world's top 50 bars are located right here in the city. The Clumsies is a spot I could easily come back to every night. The expert bartenders serve world-class cocktails with a panache of warm Greek hospitality. Depending on the time of day, you can easily find yourself sipping your delicious creation in a cozy pre-dinner atmosphere or in a full-blown party at night. Baba O Rum spills out into a quiet little square, and the stylish bar doesn't disappoint. Primarily a rum specialist bar, Baba boasts a whopping 400 rum labels.
So I'm at Taverna Climataria, which is a classic local spot to have dinner in. I mean, this place is such a vibe. They have barrels, you know, they got foliage all over, exposed brick. But what I love about it is that they serve all the classics. So you can come here, order a bunch of food, and just really have at it, especially on your first night. All of our meze has arrived, and we got some really great appetizers to start our meal with. We have some Greek salad, you know, a Greek salad on crack. This is the OG, not what you get back home. This is a real block of feta on spicy red onions, cucumber, tomato. It's a beautiful salad. You have some tzatziki here, which is a yogurt dip, and you have olive oil in the middle. And then another traditional meze appetizer is this fava bean dip. So the old-timey Greek music has started. You see the band up on stage? You know, they're really rocking the house. Everyone is enjoying this. This is such a good time. You have music, amazing food, good vibes, and super friendly service. Cheers. Well, that's it for our epic day right here in Athens. It is incredible to think that this city is over 5,000 years old, even though it's so modern and has vibrant neighborhoods. We explored Greek culture and saw iconic sites like the Acropolis. I'm Angel Castellanos, the tour guide. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and ring that bell so you can find our next video. Stinigiasas.